Every year, your money loses value, even if your bank balance stays the same. Prices of food, fuel, rent, healthcare, and everyday essentials keep rising, while salaries often struggle to catch up. This silent financial force is called inflation, and it slowly reduces your purchasing power without most people even noticing. In this video, we'll uncover how inflation secretly steals your money, why the rich often benefit from it, and what you can do to protect your financial future before your money loses even more value. Today, we will talk about how inflation secretly steals your money. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. Understanding the hidden power of inflation. Inflation is one of the most powerful financial forces in the modern economy. Yet most people do not fully understand how it quietly reduces their wealth over time. Inflation simply means the gradual increase in the prices of goods and services, causing money to lose purchasing power year after year. In simple terms, the same amount of money buys fewer things as time passes. For example, a meal that cost $5 10 years ago may cost $12 today, while rent, fuel, healthcare, and education expenses have also increased dramatically. Many people believe they are financially stable because their salary remains the same or slightly increases, but inflation silently weakens the value of their income and savings. Governments and central banks often describe moderate inflation as necessary for economic growth because it encourages spending and investment. 2. How governments and central banks influence inflation. One of the biggest drivers of inflation is government and central bank policy. Central banks, such as the Federal Reserve in the United States or the European Central Bank, control interest rates and money supply within economies. When economies slow down or enter recessions, governments and central banks often inject more money into the financial system to encourage borrowing, spending, and investment. They may lower interest rates or print additional money to stimulate economic activity. While these actions can temporarily boost growth, they can also increase inflation because more money enters circulation while the supply of goods and services may not grow at the same pace. During major crises, such as financial recessions or global pandemics, governments sometimes spend trillions of dollars to support businesses and households. Although these measures can prevent economic collapse, excessive money creation may weaken currency value and increase prices across the economy. 3. Rising costs and the decline of purchasing power. One of the most damaging effects of inflation is the steady decline in purchasing power. Purchasing power refers to how much goods and services your money can buy. As inflation increases, the value of cash decreases because prices rise faster than income growth for many workers. A salary that once comfortably covered living expenses may become insufficient years later, even if the amount earned appears larger on paper. Everyday essentials such as groceries, electricity, fuel, rent, medical care, and education often become significantly more expensive over time. Housing is one of the clearest examples of inflation's impact. In many countries, property prices and rent have increased dramatically while wages have not kept pace. This makes it increasingly difficult for young people and middle-class families to afford homes or maintain savings. 4. Why saving cash alone can be dangerous. Many people believe saving money in cash or basic bank accounts guarantees financial security, but inflation can quietly destroy the real value of these savings over time. If inflation rises faster than the interest earned on savings accounts, the purchasing power of saved money declines every year. For example, if a savings account earns 1% interest while inflation rises by 5%, the real value of that money effectively decreases by 4%. This means people may see larger account balances while actually becoming poorer in terms of purchasing power. Inflation punishes idle cash because money that is not invested struggles to maintain its value. Wealthy individuals understand this concept and often avoid holding large amounts of cash for long periods. Instead, they place money into assets such as stocks, real estate, businesses, commodities, or investment funds that may increase in value faster than inflation. In contrast, Ordinary people who rely only on savings accounts often lose wealth slowly without realizing it. 5. Inflation benefits asset owners and hurts workers. Inflation does not affect everyone equally. In many cases, wealthy asset owners actually benefit from inflation while ordinary workers struggle financially. This happens because assets such as real estate, stocks, businesses, and commodities often rise in value during inflationary periods. Property owners may charge higher rents, businesses may increase prices, and investors may see asset appreciation while the value of cash declines. Meanwhile, employees who depend mainly on salaries often experience slower income growth compared to rising living expenses. Wages may increase slightly over time, but they frequently fail to keep pace with rapid inflation. As a result, workers lose purchasing power even when earning higher salaries. Wealthy individuals also have better access to investments, financial advisors, and inflation-resistant assets. They can borrow money at low interest rates to buy appreciating assets before prices rise further. Inflation therefore widens the wealth gap because asset owners continue building wealth while non-investors face increasing financial stress. 6. Debt, loans, and inflation's complex effects. Inflation also affects debt and borrowing in complicated ways. In some situations, inflation can benefit borrowers because the real value of debt decreases over time. For example, if someone takes a long-term fixed-rate loan and inflation rises significantly, they may repay the debt with money that has lower purchasing power in the future. Homeowners with fixed mortgage rates sometimes benefit because property values and wages may increase while monthly payments remain relatively stable. However, inflation can also create serious problems when interest rates rise sharply. Central banks often increase interest rates to control inflation, making loans more expensive for consumers and businesses. Higher interest rates increase mortgage payments, credit card debt costs, and business borrowing expenses. 7. The psychological and social impact of inflation. Inflation affects not only finances but also psychology, behavior, and society as a whole. Rising prices create stress, anxiety, and uncertainty for millions of families trying to maintain stable living conditions. People may work longer hours, take multiple jobs, or reduce spending on healthcare, education, and personal well-being to cope with increasing costs. Inflation also changes consumer behavior because individuals become more cautious about spending and saving. During periods of high inflation, people may rush to buy goods before prices rise further, which can worsen inflation even more. Social inequality often increases because low-income households spend larger portions of their earnings on necessities like food, rent, and transportation. Wealthier individuals have more flexibility and financial protection against rising prices. Inflation can also reduce trust in governments and economic systems if people feel their quality of life is continuously declining. 8. How to protect yourself from inflation. Protecting yourself from inflation requires financial education, strategic planning, and long-term thinking. One of the most effective ways to fight inflation is through investing in assets that historically grow faster than rising prices. Stocks, real estate, businesses, commodities, and diversified investment portfolios may help preserve purchasing power over time. Financial literacy is essential because understanding how money works allows individuals to make smarter decisions regarding savings, debt, investments, and spending habits. Increasing skills, education, and earning potential can also help individuals maintain income growth that keeps pace with inflation. Budgeting carefully and reducing unnecessary debt are important during inflationary periods because rising interest rates can quickly create financial problems. Emergency savings remain important, but relying entirely on cash savings without investing can weaken long-term financial security. Diversification is another key strategy because spreading investments across multiple asset types may reduce risk. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up, leave a comment, and click the button to subscribe.